Now moving toward the motor component of the trigeminal nerve. As you know that trigeminal nerve has a 3 sensory nuclei and 1 motor nuclei. The motor nuclei lie within the pons. The motor nuclei receives the fiber from the higher centers of the brain such as cerebral cortex and cerebral cortex containing the 2 cerebral hemispheres. And it receives the fiber from the cerebral hemisphere which is called as the corticonuclear fibers. Cortico means it is receiving fiber from the cerebral cortex and these fibers synapsing with this nucleus. And it also receiving the fiber from the reticular formation, from the red nuclei within the midbrain, tectum in the midbrain, and this is the medial longitudinal fasciculus. The medial longitudinal fasciculus connects the 3rd, 4th and 6th cranial nerves with the 8th cranial nerves. Means there is problem into the side, there will be also problem into the hearing. And look at here, this is the brain stem, this is the midbrain, this is the pons, and this is the medulla oblongata. The midbrain containing the sensory nuclei mesencephalic, the pons containing nuclei the main sensory nucleus, and the oblongata containing the nuclei which is called the spinal nuclei of the trigeminal nerve. And here the mesencephalic nuclei has a connection, means it is connected with the motor nuclei of the trigeminal nerve, and this is forming the synaptic reflex arc for a quick response. Okay, the motor nuclei give rise to the axons which forming the motor root, and with the help of this motor root the motor nucleus supplies to the muscles of mastication, tensor tympani which is present into the ear, the tensor palatini which is present into the palate, mylohyoid muscle, and the anterior belly of the digastric muscles. Means this is supplying to all these muscle. And as you know, the trigeminal nerves which are both sensory and the motor, first emerging from the pons, it moves towards the posterior cranial fossa as I have already discussed in the previous video, and from there it moves towards the petrous part of the temporal bone where it rests into the middle cranial fossa, and from the middle cranial fossa only the sensory component expands to form the trigeminal ganglion which lies into the pouch of the dura mater called as the trigeminal or the Meckel cave. Here this is the trigeminal ganglion and this lies into the Meckel cave of the which is a pouch of the dura mater.